I have spent the last 3 years building sales call booking automations for over 450 different coaching, consulting, and course creator based businesses. And throughout this period of time, I have refined the process of increasing show rates and close rates through to the point that we now average 90 to 100% show rates to every call that is scheduled inside our calendar. Far too many business owners think that getting more leads will be the solution to all of their problems. And then they spend a huge amount of time, money, and energy to fill their calendar with appointments, only for 50% or less of these appointments to actually show up. And to add to it, the leads that do show up then have endless amounts of objections, and it's really hard to sell them into a product, let alone a high ticket offer. By the end of today's video, you will have the key steps that you need to implement to increase your show rate and ultimately allow you to make more sales into your offer. So let's jump into it. For the leads that master the two most difficult phases of the 4-phase system to scaling your business, and they build enough awareness and they attract potential clients that are aligned with their offer, their values, and their business, and they build the systems to nurture these leads, often these are the businesses that miss out on the next steps that they need to optimize in order to get more leads showing up to calls. If you're flooding your calendar with appointments, but you're not actually getting leads show up and you're not getting leads signed, then there's a big disconnect. And essentially, you'll then waste huge amounts of time, money, and energy by not having these 4 simple steps in place, which will drastically increase your show rates and your conversion rates. The first step to realize is that when a lead books in for a call, they need to be pre-qualified. So let's assume that you have the pre-qualification steps in place. For example, if you're communicating with the lead in the DMs, let's assume that you have the systems in place to pre-qualify that lead, and you're only then booking them in for a call if they match that criteria. Alongside that, if you're scheduling leads in for calendar appointments and they are automatically going through a funnel to book in for calls, then you need to make sure that your targeting is in place and aligned with the types of clients that you want to bring through. And you need to make sure that you have the appropriate questions on that calendar booking page to qualify those leads. And if you're not getting a huge amount of lead flow, then potentially it's not something that you need to worry about as much as if you're getting a huge amount of leads coming through. However, regardless of the amount of lead flow that you have coming through, you need to increase the number of show rates that you have coming onto sales calls. And this is one of the easiest ways. So every time a call gets booked, we essentially need a confirmation page in place. And this is the simplest way that we've seen laying out the confirmation page that has drastically increased our show rates. So essentially at the top, we have the key headline: congrats, your call has been booked. We confirm that. Then we make it clear that they need to complete these 2 steps, and it takes 4 minutes, so it doesn't take a lot of time. Otherwise, we will unfortunately be forced to allocate your call to someone else. This makes it clear that it's a necessity for them to complete these steps, and if they don't, we'll give it to someone else, because it then creates scarcity and shows that there's demand for what we're offering. Alongside that, we have a really simple video that walks them through the steps that they need to follow. They need to confirm this meeting, they need to reply to our WhatsApp and essentially confirm that they are going to be on that call. Alongside that, this video then gives them a little bit of context around what we do, who we help, and results that we have achieved with clients. You'll find in this VSL that you want to make it short, sharp, and snappy. And if on this VSL you have a list of client results, you can essentially scroll through and show an endless amount of social proof that's only going to back up your claims more. We have to realize that people will be showing up to sales calls to achieve a result. That result is potentially something that they've tried achieving themselves in the past and they haven't been able to. So they probably have some degree of overwhelm towards that topic. So if we can put them at ease and show that huge amounts of people have been through this process before them, from exactly where they are now to where they want to be, then it's going to position you as more of an authority figure, build more know, like, and trust, and they're going to be a lot more likely to show up to that call because they can see value in it. Secondly, down here, we want them to confirm the call. So we make it clear that they'll be sent a calendar invite via email, and they need to essentially click yes, and they need to reply yes to our WhatsApp message. So then we know that they've replied to the booking invite, which means that there's an update in Google. When they reply yes, it then automatically appears in their calendar. So then they will be reminded before the call. We then set up an automated system to essentially confirm via WhatsApp, and we have seen when a lead clicks yes and they confirm via WhatsApp, our show rates are 90 to 100%. So we know that if we put a huge amount of time, money, and energy into marketing, if leads are saying yes and replying yes, then 90 to 100% of them will show, and they'll be hugely qualified by the time they get on the call, so we can sell it them. What we then also want to think about is we want to have this WhatsApp system set up automatically so you aren't having to manually message everyone, because yes, you might be able to do that with a few, but if you're running things at scale, it's not possible. So what we then want to set up is we use our all-in-one sales and marketing platform called Systemize to Scale. And in here, this will essentially replace all of your other softwares. And what we then do is we create an automated system to follow up with leads via WhatsApp. We then essentially, when a call is booked, 5 minutes later, hit them with a WhatsApp. This comes from one of our team members, and the WhatsApp goes as follows. Hey, their first name, Systemize to Scale here. Thank you for booking Discovery Call. Just wanted to check to see if you received the link for your Zoom call. Signed off. Then we want them to reply saying yes or no, and then we can confirm the call link with them. This then also opens a channel of communication before the call. So if they then have a change of plans and they're not able to make the call, they can then simply reach out to us and communicate, and we can reschedule. This also then creates essentially a breakdown on any sort of barriers that they might have. We can communicate a bit before the call and put them at ease too. It helps increase the show rates and helps put them at ease a lot more. What we then want to make sure is if they haven't replied to this, that we're following up with them, and it's impossible to do this manually at scale. So then we essentially have an automation set up. So if they haven't replied within 5 hours, we'll hit them with another follow-up. Hey, first name, we're looking forward to your Discovery Call, but I know links can sometimes get lost. So just checking in to see if you received the Zoom link okay. Signed off. We then again want to get them to reply to that and then open up that channel of communication. When they then reply, obviously the future follow-ups don't go out. Again, if they don't reply 5 hours later, we want to hit them with another follow-up. And here we just really want to make sure that we're getting a reply, because we know that if we get a reply, our show rates will be 90 to 100%. So this automated system scoops up a lot of leads for us. So first name, I know you're busy. I know how busy your schedule will be. So just confirming that you have the right time and date for your Zoom call. Then we know that if someone has got through this whole sequence and they haven't replied, they're probably not going to show up. But we know that if they do, our show rates will be 90 to 100%. We essentially plug in a system into our all-in-one sales and marketing platform, which diverts SMS messages to send us WhatsApp messages. And essentially it's so simple. You just scan the QR code like you do when you log into WhatsApp on your desktop, and it just pairs that with your WhatsApp account, and then it just automates that system for you. This then is genuinely one of the key steps to drastically increasing show rates. Alongside that, what we then want to do is we want to build an automated system, which when every time a call is booked, that we have a system to track and a system to nurture and follow up with these prospects, so that they're not just booking and sitting and waiting. We want to make sure that when prospects booking for calls, that they are put on the next most available, soonest time, because you'll be able to pitch them when they're at their warmest. So with your calendar times, you want to set it up so people can only book 7 to 10 days in advance, and you want to make sure that people can book on as quick as possible. For example, we essentially have a minimum booking time of 18 hours, so people can essentially book the next day. If you can do it sooner, amazing, do that. But you want to get people on calls as quick as possible. So when calls are booked, we then essentially update a spreadsheet so we can track. We send some data to Zapier, and we update certain parts in the platform. But you want to make sure that you have all of the booking reminders going out. But alongside this, you can then also create automated sequences that deliver more value. So in these emails, and text messages, we can then constantly put forward links that deliver value and reinforce social proof. So we're then constantly using case studies to deliver value, but also reinforce the social proof. So for example, this client was struggling with this. This is what we did to solve it. This is their result. So they can see what they might be struggling with the same thing. They can see what they need to do to solve it. And then it's reinforced by the fact that that's a client that's been on board already. So this whole system then just works automatically to increase your show rates, to nurture your leads. So then you can pitch them on a call, and you can pitch them at higher prices without price and sort of objections being hugely high. So this system, you can plug it in, and then everything will just run on autopilot. So the main things to really think about are confirmation page, so they confirm their call. WhatsApp confirmation, so you can open that channel of communication. Calendar, we want to get them on a call as quick as possible to 7 to 10 days in advance maximum, and allow them to book as soon as possible. Alongside that, we want to then have a system to send out call reminders and send out case studies that back up your claims and reinforce that clients have been through the system before you.